We are staying in Florida and we're going to Steve Thomas.
Thanks, Scott. Brandon, this has been wonderful. A lot of good stuff to pour into our brain.
Thank you.
You've had so many successes, but when you have a failure or a setback, do you have anything specifically you do to get yourself back on track where you want to be?
Well, I'm I think that failures, and if you read my, one of the reasons why I wrote Living on Purpose is because I felt like you got to have balls was almost all my success, and everything kind of fell into line. I have probably 200 reviews on that book at Amazon, for example. Maybe it's even more, but one of the reviews said, Steiner, how convenient it was that everything went well. So in the Living on Purpose book, I was a lot more transparent about everything, particularly my failures. And here's the thing about failing. And for me, I expected fail. And there's a big problem for me early on, especially when I started really winning and started, finding some success. Man, I had failure all the way in my rearview mirror. I could barely even see it. And then all of a sudden, when you realize that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a big part of success. If you're going to want to win more, and this is the thing I want to just make sure everybody really understands. If you want to win bigger and win a lot more than you're doing now, you're going to fail a lot more. And sometimes that is a hard pill to swallow. It was for me. It almost wiped me out because as I'm winning more, I didn't turn up the volume on realizing that I was going to lose a little bit more too. And those losing gets bigger because the winning gets bigger. So as you win bigger, expect to lose bigger. And that means that's a harder punch. It's a harder shot. It's a harder fall. And you have to prepare yourself for that if you want to continue on the path of winning really, really big. If you don't want to win really big, if you want to win small, then you'll fail small. So, listen, I'm not going to sit here and put any kind of whipped cream or cherry on failing, losing, because it sucks. I don't like losing in anything. I mean, I play basketball still to this day, and I lose and still get pissed off. I'm still thinking about a shot I missed the other day. And, I'm 61. I'm like, I compete. You want to compete. I don't want to lose in anything. But I think that it's really, really important not to get addicted to the past, not get addicted to what happened. We tend to put a lot more emphasis on the losing more than we put the emphasis on the winning. And I think that gratitude comes in, think about it all again, when you go through your losing and you're reconciling, get the lessons learned from there. And then also have gratitude for all the stuff that you've won, because that was part of it too. Most people would just look at the losses. So when I'm going through a losing phase, I try to push my gratitude. I look at all the things I've won. Why would I think that I was going to pitch a shutout in business? Was I going to go 100-0? It's, that's what I used to tell my kids when I coached in Little League. Kid would give up like 2 runs in this first inning. I go, dude, there's no way they're winning this game 2-0. If you could settle down now, just do what you could do. We definitely got 3 or 4 runs in us to win this game. And that's how I look at it with business. Like, hey, I'm not going to pitch a shutout, but some of these 3 other ideas I'm working on are doing really, really well. I think the objective is to do a little bit more better, a little more wins than losses. Keep yourself in the plus column. And don't be afraid. Don't be SOS. And this is probably my most important point to answer this question for you. And that is, don't be stuck on stupid. There's nothing worse than losing other than sticking on something that just sucked. It just, sometimes your idea just sucks, and don't get stuck on it. So that's why I talk about dreaming big, sample small and fail quick. Like I see women in relationships for 8 years, like this one woman or a guy in this relationship for 8 years. And I was hoping it was going to change. Like 8 years? And you wanted to marry this person? So I'm like, listen, I'm not here to put down how many years, whatever, but it seems like a long time, to hang. So I think that losing is a really important aspect and usually leads to something better. However, don't be stuck on stupid, because that's sometimes even more painful because you hung in there way too long. And if you ask most business leaders, they're not so disappointed on the losing as much as how long they stuck on the losing and not make the adjustments.